Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi. Now in recent videos I've shown you how to fix a couple of problems on vintage toy action men, like reattaching heads and fixing the voice box on the talking commander. I picked up another one recently and he's got a problem that I've not seen before, and that's the fact that his ankles are broken. As you can see here, both feet are snapped off. There's supposed to be a couple of little pins sticking out either side of this ankle joint, and those have snapped, and so his feet have fallen off. So let's go ahead and see if we can fix this guy. So the problem with this guy is that the feet have snapped off, and there should be two tiny little pegs that sit out either side of this ankle joint, and they fit into this section here on his foot and allow the foot to pivot, but without those, of course, the foot just falls off. So I've had a quick rummage through my toolbox, and by a strange bit of coincidence it turns out that Lego is going to be the answer on how to fix this. This is a Lego weapon, and this is actually a lance from a sort of a knight character, and it turns out that the diameter of this little bit of plastic is exactly the same as the diameter for the hole in the bottom of the leg that, as you can see, fits nicely, and that's 3mm. And this is a standard Lego size, so any weapon or any sort of pole or aerial will be the right diameter to use. So that's great news. It means that it's very easily reproducible and fixable. So what we need to do is, I think, drill a hole where the pegs used to be. I'm going to drill a hole through there so that this foot can go straight back on this ankle joint, and we can use a bit of this Lego and poke it through. So let's go ahead and drill a hole through the foot. So I used a 3mm drill bit to drill the hole through. Needed a tiny amount of fine tuning just to make it slightly larger, because the 3mm is actually a little bit small. So now if we can see if this Lego piece works, and as you can see it does go right through. So what I can do now is, if I get the feet back in place, like so, I can then, I already have a slightly shorter bit that I've cut for another job. I'm going to stick this through the ankle, make sure it's right through to the other side, and then I can cut this to be the right length. I'm just going to use a small file to file the end so there's no barbs or bits sticking out. So here we have the 2 feet in place, and you can see there's now clearly a hole straight through the ankle. So what we need to do is just slot this tiny piece of Lego through the hole. Now I'm guessing this may be a little bit fiddly because it's quite a short piece now. Oh, there you go, just pops straight in. And now that ankle is working perfectly and cannot be removed. So let's do the other side. Like so. Let's see if I can, that one feels a bit tighter, so I'm just going to push it down onto the desk. There we go. And they seem like they're pretty firmly in place. The only problem now is, of course, that you can see that he's got grey pins in the ankle, so I think I'm going to see about painting those so that they match to the tone of the rest of the Action Man, and then you shouldn't be able to even notice that they are replacements. For painting the ankles, I'm going to use just some acrylic paint. This is Humble number 61. I don't actually have any different flesh tones in my toolbox, so this may be a little bit light, but it should still look a whole lot better than the grey that it currently is. So just going to get a little bit on the brush and very carefully just paint the end of this grey bit of Lego. And so here we have the final painted ankles. As you can see, it actually makes quite a difference. It just means that you don't have a grey dot on his legs. It's now sort of a flesh pink one, and that the colour of that is not too bad really. It's still you know, it matches pretty nicely, and considering these are going to be inside boots anyway, it's really not that important to do, but it's nice to sort of go that little extra distance when you're fixing things. So I think that's worth the effort. So let's now look about reattaching his head, and I'm going to try a different technique on this video. So my plan for the attachment of the Action Man head is to use a small metal washer. I have some small 8mm metal washers here that should fit in the top of the neck post, and I'm going to make a loop of elastic which I'm going to thread through the body. This time I'm going to make a loop rather than just passing one piece of elastic through. So tie this into a loop about 1 inch long, thread that through so that I end up with two ends of a loop like so, that come through the top of the neck post, which I'm then going to thread through this washer, which should be possible because it's quite a small washer, but it's got quite a big opening to it. And then once that's threaded through, I won't do it just now, I'm then going to place a small bit of the Lego post through the two loops and into the opening at the top of the neck post, and that should hold everything in place. So if I go ahead and get the elastic through, I can then show you the last bit of the process, and you can see how the final thing looks and see how well it works. So here we have both bits of that loop through the neck hole. As you can see, I've doubled it up, so it's now you've got two ends coming through. The next bit is going to be quite fiddly, because what we want to do is thread those two bits through here and through this washer. So I'm actually going to use a crochet hook which I've borrowed from Mrs. Toy-polloi. I think that will be the perfect solution, because I can go straight through the hole there, grab the two bits and pull them up, and then we can start hooking everything together. I think even I can just use the washer straight on there. Yeah, and that should work nicely. So let's hook these all together. So first up, I'm going to put that through, and I'm going to grab these two bits of elastic like so. I actually don't want a knot near the top because that will cause me two problems, so let's rotate that round. And I can now hopefully pull this through like so. There we go. So that's both bits of the elastic through, and I can now get the washer through, if I can do that, because I want the bits of elastic to stay on the crochet hook. So I'm just going to try and push the washer over the end like so, which it has, and that can go in the hole. So now what we need to do is I'm going to take this tiny bit of plastic from the Lego and push this through the two hoops under the crochet hook, and I can take the crochet hook away like so, and both loops are now held in place, and the Action Man head is pretty firmly on. I think that's a much neater fix than the original one I did, and it also means that it's much easier to change in future. There's nothing to untie, it's all just neatly done in the top there. So if we go ahead and put the Action Man head on, we can see how that works once it's all in place. So just go ahead and attach this head again. It's fairly straightforward, just needs to be pushed on and it should click in place. A bit of force like so, and that head feels pretty firm. It's actually a little bit firmer than the previous ones I've done, so having the double elastic there and the little bit of Lego has really worked. So there we have it, Eagle Eye's Action Man ankle and head repair using Lego. Who'd have thought that Lego could be used in so many ways for fixing so many toys? It's a great thing to have in a toy fixer's toolbox. I hope that's been of interest to you, and thanks for watching.